In this tutorial, I'm going to show you two different materials, actually three different materials to make the cotton candy with. Two of them are very similar, but I'll tell you where you can get them. And then I'll show you the different design ideas for making pink Halloween cotton candy. But of course, you can make it in any color once you know how to do this method. So right here is called wool roving, roving wool, or felting wool. You can find it on Amazon. Usually that's the best choice to find a variety of colors. As you can see, it's very wispy. It looks like cotton candy. This is only available at Hobby Lobby during Easter time. You can get it on sale for like 30 cents after season. And then I'm just going to show you here. It's a lot different than the roving wool. And it does look different and it acts different when you make it. Both have pros and cons. I like them both. This is from Michael's and it's just called Craft Fluff, and it comes in a variety of colors, much more than Hobby Lobby. It's exactly the same as roving wool though. So this is a jumbo paper straw. It's a lot different than your standard straw. And what I usually do is I use that as my stick for my cotton candy, and I like to use some kind of base in my cotton candy, and in this case I'm going to use an egg. You could also use a styrofoam ball. I just highly recommend that so that you have more stability and shape with your cotton candy. Then I add a dowel to the egg or the styrofoam ball. And then what I like to do is I add some lightweight spackle into the jumbo straw. And that way you're adding some weight to your project, and you're also making sure that the egg or the ball that you're using to build your cotton candy is very sturdy and stuck in there really well. And you can see here I'm even pushing the paper straw a little bit into that styrofoam. And now I'm just going to add some more spackle to the bottom just to close up the straw. So now I'm taking some sheet batting. Now you can use just loose batting, but I prefer the sheets. They're much more sturdy, and of course I will link to that. But I highly recommend that as your base for your cotton candy. So I just cut out a little section, usually a square. And then I take some tacky glue and I put that down around the egg or styrofoam ball and then all the way down onto the stick. This material is really great because it's very stiff and it likes to stick to itself, so it's easy to use. And then I also take some tacky glue and put that in the top and close and round the top. So you just pinch it together and you let it dry a little bit. So now you're just going to pull out little tiny pieces. Do not cut the fluff. Definitely pull it out. It's very wispy. It will look like more and more like cotton candy the wispier that you do it. It's up to you though. Obviously, if you want to move faster, you might prefer chunkier pieces, but it's not going to look as realistic. Toward the bottom, it doesn't matter so much how wispy it is. You're just trying to cover up all of the white batting right now. And you just want to get all the way down, figure out on your stick how far you want to go down with that cotton candy and how tall you want it, and then you build from there. And you can see I just take some Mod Podge and I'm going to hold the bottom of the batting and the cotton candy to the bottom of the stick so that it stays. You don't want it loosely hanging around that stick or you're not going to have a sturdy piece. And you can see here, since this is my bottom layer, I'm not doing as wispy of pieces. I'm just pulling off kind of chunky pieces. I'm just trying to cover up the white inner part right now. Throughout the project, I use either spray adhesive by Krylon or I use hairspray for more minor situations. So you want to use the hairspray when you just want to build and get the cotton candy to stick to itself, but as you progress, you might use the adhesive a little more. The adhesive is extremely sticky. It will stick to your other surfaces, leaving them sticky, and it will leave your hands sticky, and you'll end up with fuzz all over your hands. I'm just letting you know. So because this is going to be hidden and it's the bottom, I'm trying to have a sturdy bottom. I am wrapping it more tightly, as you can see. Now, as these layers are more visible, I'm going to be more careful about pulling the cotton candy apart and making it very, very wispy. And don't worry about the Mod Podge, it will dry clear, you will not see it. So now since I'm getting ready to blend and do my outer layers, I'm going to start using the spray adhesive. So I'm going to spray it off camera. I don't want to get it on my camera or my desk. And then I'm just going to take teeny tiny wispy pieces and start adding those. And you just, if you see a bald spot, you go in, you add a little wispy piece. If it needs to be blended, you add another little wispy piece. And that spray adhesive will stay sticky for quite a while, so you'll be able to work with your piece. And you'll notice that I pat it down with my palms often, and that's because your fingers will get the adhesive on them and then they'll stick to the cotton candy, and just the palms help to solidify the piece. I'm showing you this section not so much about laying on the pieces. This is more about, I'm trying to show you how wispy I get the pieces. And you can see my left hand here, it is filled with fake cotton candy. It's just, there's no way around it. So you can see right here, it was getting a line where you could see where I had made two sections. So I want to blend those. So I'm just going to take a very wispy piece again, pull it apart so it's almost clear, and then just lay it down. And if that needs to be blended, then you just blend the sides again. And you can see just on the very outer layer, just over and over again, I just keep adding the teeny tiniest little wispy pieces and then gently patting them down. Now it's looking a little bit fuzzy, so that's why you can see the little pieces lifting on the side. So that's why I'm spraying it with some hairspray. I don't want to do the adhesive again yet. And you can see here there's a little empty space, so I'm just going to take a teeny tiny piece and cover that up. And then I'm blending and patting, and blend and pat. I love the shape of this cotton candy. Up here I kind of saw like a sheer place, like a little bald spot, so I'm just adding a little bit more. So now that you're happy with your shape, you're going to hit it with some spray adhesive. And you're going to give it one final tight pat all over again. Now, while the adhesive is still tacky, I'm going to be using a couple of different kinds of glitter. And of course, those will be posted, but they are from Hobby Lobby. So I always add more chunky glitter than I think I actually need because, of course, you are going to have some shedding. And you just gently pat the glitter down. And I actually add some hairspray too, so that I can make it just a little bit more sticky so that more glitter will stick. After I'm done with the chunky glitter, I go ahead and go through and add some fine glitter as well. Now, of course, you could leave it as is, but it is time to decorate. And so I just want to show you some of my ideas. So this is just a cheap spider ring that you can get at Dollar Tree. And I just cut off the little plastic ring part so that I can stick that into the cotton candy. But I do add some E6000 or you can use tacky glue. You could also use bat rings in the same way. You could also use little tiny spiders. I do carry these in my shop. And just scatter them all over. You could use a web and a spider. You could also get a glow-in-the-dark spider. You could paint that pink for a little pop of color on there. You could use skeleton hands. I also carry those in my shop. That's very striking, isn't it? Very unusual. You could also use these little RIP cabochons. Halloween is so fun, especially Pink-O-Ween. This is the little white skull ring. So it's the same idea as the bat ring. You could also use a big sparkly spider. These were from Dollar Tree. I love that. You could also use these shiny black bat cabochons. See how shiny they are? You could also add a bow to it. These are also from Dollar Tree. I think the bow is a little bit overwhelming for the size of the stick, but it's just an idea.
Thanks for watching my tutorial. Make sure to leave me a heart, a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.